Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division 2 video today by me and Attack Power.
Hello, guys. Super excited to be here as always.
Today we're going to be casting a 1 versus 1 between Luna and Onord in the Simulated Divisions League Charity Tournament for Action Against Hunger. This was played last weekend, or the weekend before last, I think now, where Prodos put together an awesome event. Made loads of money, and we'll leave the link in the description so you guys can go donate to that.
Yeah, fantastic cause. Definitely consider doing it. It's great. It's great to see this community do awesome things like that.
Yeah, very cool indeed. So today they're on Kostrica, and on our left in the red team we have Luna playing with the Polish Home Army, and on our right in the blue side we have Onord using Ruchmarapana and the Maverick deployment type there. Luna's going to be on the balanced deployment type. What do you think about these decks?
I mean, these are some exciting choices. The Home Army is a really odd one. You do not see this get played very much, and it's usually bottom tier. Its infantry are phenomenal, and that's about it. That's kind of where it ends. That really is about it. It doesn't have much else to work with. Its infantry and its recon, both of those tabs are pretty strong. They're phenomenal. And then you have Raimarapana also with phenomenal infantry, and very similar, but a lot more artillery, a lot more air force to work with. The Home Army does have some good planes and stuff, but it can be a little bit laggy. It's just basically some IL-2s and some fighters. That's about all they got to work with, plane-wise.
Yeah, both these divisions are very infantry and air dependent in order to make ground. I think the benefit of Luna's deck in this situation is that he is going to be up against mainly infantry, which means is going to allow his infantry to hopefully do a little bit better.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of Molotov cocktails. Like, a lot. Like, every unit's going to be throwing a Molotov cocktail, basically.
All right, let's have a quick look at what's going down. So on the top side, we got the Miotachoknia with the PTRDs at the start, the Ohotnitsi and the Obsokrayovsi. Further down, we've got a PTRD heading to the center of the map with two Obsokrayovsi, two Ohotnitsi there as well with the PTRD. Got the sniper coming in with the Recon half-track and the 37mm AT gun, MG42 there as well. And on the bottom side, that's going to be a PTRD, Miotachoknia, Obsokrayovsi, a couple units of Ohotnitsi, the Gripish Domovi. I don't even know that one. I'm sorry, that was past me. And the 20 mils there on the bottom side.
I feel so much better.
So what do you think about these PTRD squads? I think they're kind of crap in comparison to like the PTRS, right? Because they've got to reload after every shot.
They do, but they are only 5. They are only 5 points. So honestly, it's almost a free commitment to throw 6 down. It's 30 points, and you kill one thing, and you've paid off every single squad.
Yeah, I guess that's very true. All right, let's have a quick look at Onord's. He's got the much better AT rifle squads, the Lati squads.
Oh, they're so good.
With the 50mm AT gun there, the CC, two of the CCKV, with the T26 on the top side. Further down, we've got Lati Takampuya, another, machine gun there, the Maxim squad with the CC and the Vekotin. Then another Lati, the 76, and the Ratsuvaki. That 76 is the artillery 76, isn't it?
I believe it is. Yeah,
yeah,
they do
so
have a light.
Using those as like guns, like infantry guns.
Yeah,
I suppose.
infantry or AT guns.
Interesting. And then on the bottom side, yeah, the Lati, double CC, Restovaki, and BAF, which is the BA-10M. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, I do think they have the heat rounds, don't they?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
You don't see them used very often.
Yeah, like the standard 76mm like Russian guns that you can get in a lot of the Soviet divisions.
Yeah.
I
will say I'm a little bummed that Luna is not using any of the Kubas, I believe they're called. It's the Piat armored car.
Yeah, Kubas.
Yeah, I actually just recently played this division. They're awful, unfortunately. The Kubas are awful.
I killed a tiger with Kubas.
Did you really?
Once upon a time, the dream happened. I've still yet to kill a king tiger with Kubas, but one day maybe.
Piats make me so incredibly sad. This should really be an interesting match because it's just such great infantry being thrown against such great infantry. I think Onord's really powerful Air Force may be the deciding factor. I'm not sure, though. We start off right away with some recon from both sides here.
Yeah, the MS-406 coming out from Onord, which is a pretty nice like fighter recon. And then you've got the IL-2, which is an even better fighter recon that's got some serious firepower in its frontal guns, can strafe very, very well. So really like those IL-2 KRs.
Yeah, they're not as good as they used to be. They used to be like top dog because they could strafe the ground really powerfully, but they got a pretty bad nerf, so unfortunately their ground attack capabilities are not anywhere where they used to be.
I think Nord is trying to
Yeah,
get on the back of this IL-2.
I think so as
Being
well.
very cheeky with that MS-406.
He has a good. He has a much better chance because the IL-2KR is really not maneuverable. Oh, he's there.
Yeah. However, Luna does have these 20 mils on the top side, which is probably why he's got the IL-2 hanging around there. Let's see if we can get any AT snipes going on. Both the Nitsi unloaded in the middle, so the Lati's not doing anything. PTRD doesn't get any kills.
Down
on
south,
the bottom side.
maybe? Nope. It's
Both
out
unload.
before.
Yeah, Tachognia should help kill up the Lati squad.
He did manage to stop all of the CCs and Ratsuvaki out in the middle here, which is quite good positioning-wise.
Yeah, he made them unload early, which is going to give his infantry on the bottom side a big advantage, especially with the MG42s firing. But the 37 does pick off one of the infantry in the open there, so that's very nice.
It's interesting to see both players calling out AA right at the beginning of the game. Also, we were incorrect. These are the assault guns, the 76 RK-27s. These are just the regular
Oh, they're just the
guns.
regular ones. Yeah, sorry. I would have been excited to see if they were the artillery versions.
Yeah,
that does happen occasionally.
It does.
Like the Gebirgs, they sometimes use them, or have seen them
Oh,
used,
the recon plane, the MS-406 does go down to the 20 mils out of Luna there.
Nice. And the Blenheim coming in on the bottom side for the MG42 should relieve a little bit of pressure on some of Nord's infantry, but that BA-10M, there's not really going to be much that can hit that at range. Like the 37mm got such a short range. Or
Wow.
Yak-9 coming in for the Blenheim because weapon
Jacked. Wow. What a champion.
Yeah, that Blenheim, what an absolute Chad with that
Yeah,
rear gunner. Get the weapon jab, perfect.
Up north, he took out, I believe, a recon squad trying to get into position. The CC Kev's trying to fall back here. And right now, Luna's in very strong hold of the forest up north, which, while there's no flags, can be great for positioning.
Yeah, we have seen players do this before when they like push into the top side forest in Kostrutsa. There's not really much to gain there, so it's really dependent on pushing all the way through, which can be quite bad for like your opponent coming back at you there quite easily from your spawn. But this gauntlet, when they go down to the 20 mils, it's trying to drop that off map on top of the AA, and I think honestly Luna's realized that that's the target, so he's going to be shifting those back.
That's kind of, honestly, for me, that's a little bit odd. I guess if you really want the AA dead, but that's I would probably have dropped it in the town where he had just got pushed out of because of those targets.
You can see on the ground, like Onord doesn't really have much coming in to reinforce, so
That's
I think
true.
he is investing a lot into his aircraft right now. There's another Blenheim coming in here.
Down south.
IL-2 is actually coming in for the strafing run as well, looking for the kill onto
And it does get it.
the infantry gun, indeed. Yak-9 coming in for another go. When
Oh,
they get
jeez.
weapon jam this time.
Now this is a different Blenheim. Now
it's
his
not quite the same crew.
Luna's push down south has been pushed back pretty decisively. Now the issue is though, Onord's on the Maverick and he is currently down 14-10, which is quite bad because of up north, that town and the forest next to it. He has nothing there.
And the off map didn't really hit too much in the end. Yak-9's going for this VLD. The Blenheim did end up going down to the IL-2 recon on the bottom side, so that was pretty nice. That Yak-9's struggling. I think his speed's just getting the better of it. His lack of firepower.
Well, and I mean, I've never seen anyone use these VLDs.
I think the benefit of them is that they're quite
cheap. They're cheap.
Well, cheap and maneuverable. Like they turn very, very well.
See, the Hawk, on the other hand, I like the Hawks. I like, they have medium resilience. They get 6 machine guns. They put out good damage, and the medium resilience is quite useful. For only 70 points, I think they're actually quite good.
Yeah, they actually get 50 cows, which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're really quite strong. They're slow, but to catch a bomber, if you got them deployed out like they do, you don't really need them to be fast.
On this bottom side, the BA-10M's making a bit of a push here, but Luna has brought up a 37. And the thing is with these Ohanitsi and the Upsaklayovsi, none of them have AT down here, so this BA-10M's just like freely running around, and Luna's very dependent on these 37mm AT guns to get the job done, and that looks like it's the case like across the map right now. Like any light armor, like the T-26 on the top side, for example, could really punish a lot of Luna's infantry squads if he leaves them out in the open.
Yeah, Luna's got some. He's got some 37 mils and stuff that can definitely take care of this. But this like BAFC down south is basically bullying these infantry because there's not a whole lot that he can do about that at the moment.
Yeah, the 20mm almost got sniped in its transport there, but not quite. Ratsavaki managing to pin down one of the Ahadnets here, but there's another one with a Molotov left, so I think the Rastavaki are saying goodnight. IL-2 strafing the Rastavaki in the middle. You told me they don't do any damage anymore.
Well, I didn't say no damage, just not the damage they used to do. Do you remember, these things used to, like...
one-shot everything.
Yes, it used to erase any sort of support gun in one run. It was kind of stupid, actually.
Very good. CC actually went down to 37mm on the bottom side there.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
No, Ahadnetsi, they're trying to come up on the Ratsavaki, but this time around they don't have a Molotov left,
So now they're
just ideal.
They're still a good squad. I mean, this is a 25-point squad. You get 15 men, a Molotov, 2 submachine guns, and an automatic rifle. They are so good.
Yeah, very nice.
Big air clash again.
And his T-26 is coming up in the mid node as well. He's got 4 of those. That Blenheim might get caught. No, never mind. Pulls away from the vehicle tin. That thing with extra veterancy is very nasty. But this bottom side of Nord looking pretty bad right now.
Yeah, Luna is on balance, and he's currently winning 15-9 against a Maverick player. That's not good for Onord.
Yeah, back to 13-11 briefly as the Ratsavaki do manage to recover. But in the mid, infantry gun went down for Onord as well. Off-map coming in again on the top side onto the AA. He really doesn't like those 20mm. It's very interesting that he continues to target that.
He killed the leader. I guess that's a plus. But, like, at this point, it would have been way more cost efficient to simply bring in some mortars or something to take out these 20mm.
Yeah, and use that off-map to maybe support these T-26s in a push in the center.
Yeah, essentially do anything else. Like, honestly.
Yeah, Gadi coming in, though. Those are very nice close-range infantry on the Finnish side.
And now...
with the 3 submachine guns and the Molotov.
Oh, yeah. So Nord has brought in 122mm artillery here. 122H38. So, and he's trying to sneak around these CCs around to get probably that heat shell on this road, this reinforcing road here. But he's going to run into the... say it for me. Sorry, Vulcan.
Obsoklayovsky.
I'm working on the other one. That was just too hard.
The CC, not going to be able to get through there. Luna has spotted that. But that 122 artillery piece, I really don't like them.
No, I hate those. CCs will get through. 2 of these CCs will definitely... Oh, wow. I can't believe he's falling back. I thought he'd win.
Yeah. I think the issue here is that he wanted to be sneaky about it so he could ambush the road, but obviously Luna's going to have seen it now, so it's not really going to have quite the same effect. So he's not in a massive hurry to get that through there. The T-26 is now making a push. Can the PTRD do anything, though? It's kind of struggling at the moment.
On the flank, it should.
Yeah, it should definitely be able to penetrate. The issue you're going to have there is the damage.
Yeah.
Like, even if you do penetrate, you're not actually getting the kill most of the time.
And you're
going to have to land at least 3 or 4 shots to actually get that kill.
And we can see Luna, like, microing really tightly here in and out of that house to land hits. He has auto cover off, so just in case you're wondering how he's doing that.
Yeah, pretty smart move, but it finally goes down. He does take one with him, so I'd say that was an effective PTRD squad.
5 points to kill a 25-point tank. Down south, we have a Yakari push here into the southern forest to try to regain some of that ground, and it should do pretty well. Most of those, oh, wait. Most of the Ohodnitsis are pretty weakened and out of Molotovs.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So Yakari gonna do very well pushing them out, though, especially with the Swarmy machine gun, submachine gun. That thing just rips at range, especially like across this cover in the middle of these 2 heavy cover engagements. Yeah, the Yakaris are underappreciated for how good they are. The two Finnish divisions are honestly held up by how good those that unit is. Just lost a fighter out of Onord. He's definitely... I don't think he's coming out very well in the air fight. He seems to have lost a lot of resources already. Yeah, he's invested a lot into it and hasn't gained much from it, which I think is probably the biggest problem right now. And the double IL-2 strafing run onto the Yakari. Those Yakari were certainly becoming an issue. There is now the vehicle tin on the bottom side to support, so those IL-2s will be forced back. But the concentration of Yakari here against the Ohadnetsi Could prove an issue unless Luna can get more in. Hawk is on the back of the IL-2 and has not taken it down. That was interesting. I don't know if Onord meant to do that, but he obviously pulled it away thinking it was going to die, and then it didn't. So it looks like he's lost the opportunity to shoot down either, and might even lose his Hawk in the process.
Which is a bummer, because they have been doing fairly good work for Luna. And his T-26 push in the middle here, he's down to 3, which is still plenty to take out these infantry that have no AT at all. So he's still very potent, very dangerous.
He is lacking a bit of infantry support though, but 2 more CC squads on the way, which do have the sniper and machine gun. Very nice for pinning down infantry at range, and then the T-26s can just kind of drive up to them and surrender them, especially since the Observatory do not have that AT weapon. You can see Luna's so reliant on these 37mm AT guns right now.
Yeah, and well, the other thing to take note of is that the home army does not have any more AA until phase B or until phase C with its 37 mils. So these 20 mils that we see out, this is it. This is all he's got for the whole phase B too.
Yeah, the VLD did manage to take down an IL-2.
There we go.
There you go. Got some value out of it finally. The 45-point fighter.
Kind of incredible, but
yeah, nice.
I guess what do I know, right?
And a lot of help from the Vekotins. So there you go. T-26s have been kind of slowly taken out by the AT guns here. One of the 37s did get killed in the process, though. Oh, here we go. Yak 9 in a bad spot with the MS-406 on its tail. Yep, that's going to go down nice and easy. Ju-88 going to distract the AA, so the MS-406 not going to go down either. And the Ju-88 should just be able to brush off that 20mm fire as it lands some bombs onto that flag. Bottom side engagement, slowly but surely, being in, I would say, your Nord's favour with the limited numbers of men left in these squads. I think Luna's probably having issues, or was having issues with infantry availability towards the end of Phase A, which is why he wasn't able to really reinforce that much more.
Yeah, you can bring in quite a lot, but on the flip side, when you're bringing them in, you know, when you put veterancy on them and stuff, it does start to strain. And with this home army division, there's not a whole lot of stuff to bring in Phase A. You're phase locked a lot, so a lot of your, you know, the majority of your forces are infantry at the beginning, so you do tend to run out pretty quick. The triple flak 20mm, though, might be able to take out this Ju-88. Got a radiator damage. No smoke yet, though.
That's a little bit of an oil leak. It is going to go down. Ratsavaki, look at that. Nord just going all in the center now, looking for these flags. He's already managed to capture both of the offensive flags in the center, though, so maybe these will head more north to grab the flags further up.
Yeah, and he recaptured his own flag there, so he is swinging back. Apologies to those watching my end. I was a little bit behind Vulcan, so I had to move the video forward. CC here have snuck up finally up north, so they are finally getting into position here to maybe take out, but it looks like Luna knows this, and he's stopping his troops well forward of these CCs.
Yeah, so it looks like he's probably aware of that from the previous engagement. Maybe something already died on the road there. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, it's a good move if he doesn't if he does unload and it actually pushes through there. Not too much to worry about. But yeah, with Nord moving into Phase B, we are seeing the full income of the Maverick player coming to fruition as all of the Ratsavaki come in, all of these BA-10Ms on the bottom side.
Yeah.
Ready to make a push.
Got quite a line coming. Now, unfortunately, all he has left are 3 Yakaris, like literally 3. 1, 2, 3 men. So I definitely think he should be bringing in some infantry to reinforce, because obviously these BA-10s do not hold the line, but there's also no AT from Luna down south, so these BA-10s could definitely bully their way through.
Yeah, if that's actually in the middle, the Hetzer that they can get.
There it is.
He has managed to take out one of the Ratsavaki before they unloaded, so that was quite nice. And we'll be able to clean up a lot of these T-26Bs with that Hetzer as well, although at close range there is going to be plenty of penetration chance there.
Yeah, it's dangerous to have that Hetzer so close. I love Hetzers. Hetzers are absolutely fabulous. Just a small note. Side
Big bombing strike on the bottom side.
Oh, big air fight down on the bottom. Can the Hawks take out this Yak 9T? They may, with the help of the 20mm. There goes one Yak.
The AA.
Well, like I said, he needs to, because that's all the AA gets.
Yeah, the Blenheims took out both of the AA on that bottom side.
Oh,
And then the Hawk is going to
gonna take
trade for
out.
the MS4 and
Oh,
109. Yeah, that's quite nice. Both of the Yaks went down.
yeah.
Onor just tried kind of traded his cheap fighters, and both of the AA was dead. So that was really really good for Onor.
Yeah, that's actually really huge because basically that means, I mean, he's got one more flak 20 mil coming in here, but that's 6. I believe 6 would be all he gets. So that's kind of huge. If he can open up the sky, which he kind of did because he just killed fighters too, that could be huge for Onord.
Yeah, Ratsuvaki now coming in on the bottom side to help out as well against that one Ohadnitze. We've got the Partisans in the middle up against T26. So that's trying to get the shots in, but it's actually firing at the CC there, so can't quite get into a good line of sight. I think he's just really worried about going too far forwards. Also, the Ratsuvaki are kind of running him down right now. With that close range AT. The Saboteur CC managing to get the Panzer Strike on target there, though.
Yeah, we have an off map coming in the center, and we see in this little northern town here that Onord has completely taken over, and he's now taking out the 20 mils, which is absolutely disastrous. This whole CC thing up in the north forced Luna to unload early, and that has been actually decisive in his ability to capture this small town.
Yeah, it basically forced Luna to unload 5 units of infantry early, which is horrible because it takes them ages to run them to the front line. But these Ratsuvaki that Onord brought in just cleaned house through that town, and they're also probably going to be able to escape this off map if they keep moving forwards, which is going to be really nice.
And they took out all those 20 mils, which means now the air is totally open up north. We see a PE2 coming in to try to take out this Hetzer. Wow, it succeeded. Wow. Woo.
Very nice.
My
you
AT
only need those rockets to land directly on target, and it gets the kill.
My AT rocket planes never do that well, like
Very
ever.
Nice. On the bottom, there's 3 coming up. That's going to go right into line of sight of all of these BA-10Ms.
At least some of them, actually.
I didn't even unload.
Oh no!
And now the gauntlet coming in for the off map. I don't know where that's exactly going to go, or if he's just using that as recon potentially, if it's used for its off map strikes, but yeah. It looks like the off map was actually relatively successful onto Onord's Ratsuvaki on the top side. Ohadnitze is just driving in there and surrendering one of them.
Yeah, it was. It actually landed and killed one, and then they surrendered 2, and now we have this weird salient that's been created, so Onord's not getting his full value, but now he's being able to bring in his Ju-88s with impunity and just wiped out most of those infantry, actually.
Yeah, there's Ratsuvaki do need to be careful still. The Ohadnitze are chunking them because the Ratsuvaki aren't actually in cover. So you would want to move those back. The Ratsuvaki in the center have also been struggling, especially with the off map now coming down. Takes out the T26 as well. And that Ratsuvaki squad finishes it off. So Onord's pushes are getting broken down here, and it's back to 12 to 12, coming up to the 20-minute mark, which is not a place that Onord wants to be.
No, this is not going great. I mean, he's got. I mean, if we look at the actual troop numbers here, like down south, he's in a good spot, unless this napalm somehow kills all his BA-10s. But well, it certainly bothered them, that's for sure.
Look at all these little fighters swarming the IL-2
and not killing it. That's the most embarrassing part.
Is it going to take it down? It should do. It has enough time on target.
Jeez. 5 minutes on that thing. Up north, though, Onord is very weak. I mean, in terms of troops, like, there's just not a lot there. What's your feeling on the Ratsuvaki?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them. I think
neither.
It's just the Yakari can just be played so much better because of the triple submachine gun plus the Molotov. Whereas, like, the Ratsuvaki don't even have, like, the semi-auto rifle. They have the bolt action, right? So,
yeah,
overall, like, the DPS is pretty trash.
Yeah, they get chosen a lot because they have the light machine gun, but I don't think it's worth getting a light machine gun to have them just be that much worse than the Yakari.
Yeah, and in all of these engagements, you would have rather had a Yakari squad.
Yes.
In the close range, the like medium range, and particularly with veterancy, the Yakari squads can just do so much damage. And the CC there, like if you just bring like a lot of those in your recon tab, with extra veterancy, they can do tons of work as well.
Yeah, they can basically like be the heavy machine gun for you.
Yeah, exactly. So you have the CC at range, and then you have the Yakari at like the mid to close range. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Down south, Luna is reestablishing himself. He's called in 2 more 37 mils, and those will make quick work of those BA-10s when they get into position here. And we have this Ratsuvaki is just kind of walking across the open field, which is not a great thing to do. These fighters are all over the place, and they literally don't really do anything to ground targets, especially that VLD. I watched it attack this MG42, and the MG42 didn't even take suppression. It was kind of hilarious.
Those 30 cals are terrible. The Hawks can actually...
They can.
Stuff, especially since they have some veterancy as well. Definitely helps out. BA-10Ms, though, engaging the 37. 2 of the BA-10Ms went down to that 37 mil.
Yep.
But 3 alive is still problems for the Ohadnitsi, particularly if the Saboteur go down as well.
Yeah,
the Ohadnitsi did get bombed there as well.
The problem for Nord is he still has not established a double tick after all this time. And he's kind of letting his bomber just fly around for some reason. I think that was just a misplay. Another Blenheim coming in and not being... He should be evacuating these immediately to try to get them rearmed.
Yeah, I feel like you could definitely, like, you know, shift V, auto, like, well, not auto evac, but, you know, like, queue the evac.
Queue the evac, yep.
Especially since he's, like, just swarming this bottom so with fighters, right? They're perfectly safe to do that.
Yeah.
It's very odd. We've seen Onord actually do this before with his bombers. He gets a bit lazy.
Yeah, now that I think back about it, yeah, I remember him flying. Now, back then, those planes made a little more sense to have flying around, but these do not at all. Here comes a Ju-88 as well, and this is what Onord needs to do, is have just a massive air force and just overwhelm the home army, because, again, they don't have a lot now. It's Phase C now, so there's going to be 37 mils, which will certainly start to swing things back in terms of AA cover, but... He's going to capture his flag in the middle after a bombing strike, so now he's finally at a 15-9, going to go to a 16-8 here, which is good for Onord, for sure.
Yeah, he is on a timer still, though, kind of, with the P2 coming on the bottom side, though, going for the T-34.
No luck this time.
Rocket hit 152. Oh, that would have been something.
Oh, that would have been cringe for Luna. That would have been major cringe.
It does fall back, though, before he gets the chance to put down the off-map strike, so that it is going to delay that quite a bit. The Saboteur CC might have a chance here, though, to catch a couple of these BA-10Ms with their Panther Strike.
If a BA-10, they're not firing for some reason. If he manually targeted that 152, he could have killed it, potentially. But unfortunately, it looks like they're going for the T-34.
I think the big question now is Onord's air lead enough to carry him for the rest of the game, right? Because he's probably going to have enough infantry availability to kind of stay in the game because he's playing with Commander Arpana. But at the end of the day, like, is all of this points investment he's put with his Maverick like deployment type into air enough? And the Saboteur CC currently actually dealing with these Ratsuvaki pretty well at close range with that HE grenade.
And now these BA-10s are going to die to this 37 mil that they backed up into to avoid the Panzerschreck. Oh. And unfortunately, while he has a 15-9, it is only 11 minutes, which is survivable, honestly. It would be tight, but survivable. But if he drops back down to that 14-10, it's 20 minutes, and I don't fancy his chances then.
IL-2 actually takes out the fighter on the bottom side, so
finally gets rid of that.
Still punching back a little bit. Oh, we've got the Blenheim coming in the mid to try and help out these Ratsuvaki. I think these flags on the bottom side can be shut down pretty well, though, by Luna. Particularly like with these 2 Ratsuvaki that are capturing like these 2 extra flags. You know, if you remove those from the equation, it's like 13 to 11. So currently, all Luna really needs to do is just commit a little bit more on this bottom side, and he can really slow down the game a lot.
Yeah, and the problem up north, Onord just kind of like he was trying to reinforce with these Yakari, and they got caught out by these 37 mils. None of them died in the transports, but now they're standing out in the middle of nowhere getting attacked. But it is 16-8, so if he can hold this forest, that's a flag. He might lose this center flag here momentarily. Although both the infantry coming in are not really CQC infantry, so there's a chance he'll hold off.
One of my favorite aircraft of the Rukmara Pana coming in right now, the I-153 with the rockets there going for the BA-10M. Very cool. I love these little things.
Oh, he missed. No! His moment to shine.
I was given all the emphasis. I was zoomed right in on that I-153.
Little buddy. I'm so sorry.
It's 152 mil off map. We're going to be completely overkill in the Ratsuvaki here, but we'll give him back the flag at least, so that's not too bad. One thing that this is quite reminiscent of to me at the moment is like a campaign match against the AI where they've brought in bombers and you don't have any fighters or AA.
Oh yeah.
And all you got to do in that situation is like use the heavy cover to your advantage to the point where like you don't show anything, right?
Yep.
Only when it comes to you. And that's honestly, Luna could play that style completely. And it would just be really frustrating for Anord to have to like find the infantry every time and land these bombing strikes. And I think, you know, Luna's got more of like an infinite supply of infantry probably than Anord has. So, you know, eventually it's just going to fall away from him.
Yeah.
Regardless of this air advantage.
I do want to point out your I-153 failed to kill the BA-10. It did fire, and it didn't do it.
The Plenum coming in there for a bombing strike as well. Where did that go?
And now the issue is, too, you can see the 37 mils just thickening and slowly getting more and more. Now, the center, though, did just collapse for Luna, giving back the 15-9. So Anord is still making ground and still applying pressure, which is quite impressive, honestly, because you were basically, after about 25 minutes, the Maverick players' income finally evens out with the balance, like in terms of how many points they've received. So now this is where technically Luna starts to actually gain points.
Yeah, I didn't realize that Luna had this 37 mil card. So yeah, this is a big game changer. He's going to be able to get, if he can get some veterancy on these potentially. I mean, he might not even need to with the numbers that he's getting in. But those can really start to chunk the aircraft of Anord.
Yeah, you can get 9 on a card in C. I know we don't usually bring in a C card of 37 mil, so that's why I'm mentioning it. Yakari up north just took out an Ohatnitsi, excuse me, but then died themselves, unfortunately.
On the bottom side, I-153 and the P2 with the rocket strikes. The I-153 actually scored the kill this time, while the P2 did not.
What a champ. So. Also, we now have P51s coming in. This is his C card of basically American fighters, and you can bring in, if he brought, it's double vetted, so it's probably only 4 or 5, but there goes our first Ju-88 down, which is a big deal. It's going to go quick.
Yep, they're all going to start falling out the sky now. And this is really going to take away a lot of those points from the Maverick income that was invested into these aircraft. So things are starting to go downhill a little bit, it seems.
And up north,
it just depends, I guess, if Anord can hold on.
Yeah, and up north, actually, Luna has pushed so far forward, he's threatening that back flag there as well.
Yeah, it's not good. That's forcing Anord to bring in these Ratsavaki. And if he keeps bringing them in one by one against the Obstaklevci, the Partizanci, and the Orhadnitsi there, they're not going to be having a good time, particularly unloading in the open on the road with no cover. That's not ideal.
No, it's not. And especially if these Orhadnitsi get into this, they're not going to. He needs to get these Ratsuvaki into the town before this little village complex before they get into position. And they still may lose, honestly.
Yep. I mean, the obstacle I have seen, they have the basically the Madsen machine gun automatic rifle for range cover, and Ratsuvaki's still losing there. Ohadnitsia as well.
And this is
demolishing those.
This is the issue with not having auto cover on, is he's standing out in the middle of nowhere, these Ratsuvaki, instead of going into the house, and now they're definitely screwed.
Yeah, so it's interesting because I assume then Anord has auto cover off by default.
Yes, so does Luna.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting to me because generally I play with it on, and then I will like manually turn it off when I need to, because I think auto cover is like generally way more useful than not having it on.
I find way more mistakes happen with it off than with it on.
Exactly. Yeah, it's way more like that. That's exactly it.
This Ju-88 is probably going to go down to these 37 mils, I would imagine. There's 3 of them at this point. There it goes.
Yep.
And that's just everyone. But yeah, I would imagine there are less situations where I need to have it off than there are when I need to have it on.
Yeah, that's exactly it. So if you are watching and you are playing Swing, I would recommend keeping auto cover on.
and I did. I made that argument in one of my tutorials, and I had several people be like, "Oh, I use it off and it's perfect." I'm like, "That's wonderful. I'm apparently terrible because I want the game to help me suck less."
Yeah, it just takes away a little bit of those times where you leave your unit out in the open, like on these roads, and they'll automatically run to cover. It's way better than just losing it out in the open.
Now this P51's taking down the Blenheim, and are we going to lose anything else in this? The Hawk taking on this P51. probably not going to succeed. Might even die for its effort.
Go down. Yeah. That Hawk will be going down. It's nice for Luna. He's managed to take back the flag in the middle on the bottom, so that's just taking one of those extra flags away. Still 13 to 11 for Onord, though, as he continues to bring up more infantry on this bottom side.
Yeah, he's very impressively clawing himself back into this. These 75 mils in the middle, trying to dominate the open ground. They do have some HE shells, so they can take on these Ohodnetsi. They're actually doing really well. Wow, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, they do chunk. They're 2.2 damage.
Oh, okay. They're quite good.
But Onord did make the mistake of letting his Yakari on the bottom side die before they unloaded, so the reinforcements that he was going to get got deleted. Blenheim coming in on the bottom now as well. There is 37s down here as well now, though.
But
so.
just one, though, so he can still easily get a bombing run through.
Blenheim's not particularly strong if it hangs around for too long.
Should get
With
out.
some veterans here, 2-star 37 could shoot down a Blenheim.
Probably.
Without,
yeah.
Probably not. One Yakari being a hero and holding the flag further to the north. But the B-10M is going to spot those now. So, only a matter of time until Luna brings in something to deal with that. We've got a Tiger on the field now for Luna as well.
Oh, lovely. I will note, too, that Onord is basically empty in the middle. Like, if you look in the central town, the only thing holding it is a 20 mil flag. Which, if it shoots at infantry, will kill them. But that is very dangerous.
Yep. And Luna on the bottom side, I always find it funny when I see, like, off-map.
On
like
one infantry. Yeah, on, like, one infantry squad.
But it does work, like, particularly when you don't know when something's there. And basically, Luna kind of can slow play this a little bit. He's going to get a mortar zone 156.
He did. Oh, no.
Obviously, it doesn't really matter. Like,
it doesn't, but still.
The off-map vehicle can't surrender the Ratsavaki, so... that's it, because it doesn't have a weapon. So
P-51 chasing down this PE-2 up north. Is it going to catch it? It may. Oh, no. Oh, yep. No. I-153's going after the P-51?
He mistimed that a little bit with the I-153s there. It might cost him both of them.
He's not turning around. I think he's just happy as P... I can't believe... That PE-2 should have really disappeared by then, but it did not.
P-51 just so fast. It can catch up nice and quick. But they're on the bottom side. The Ohodnetsi surrendered one of the Ratsavaki. The other one trying to run away from these ZIS-3 and the 37mm. Navekotin. Now going to be the next target of Luna, which is going to give him maybe the 2 flags here on the bottom side, although Pianeri now coming in.
Yep, he's
for Onord.
Trying to shore that up, but unfortunately he's back to the 12-12. I mean, he still has 10 minutes to hold, even if he gets back to a 13-11, which is a lot. His 20 mil chunking the Ohodnetsi here in the middle, and forcing him to fall back. Here comes the P-51 for a strafing run on the ground.
Yep, the Taka on Puya. Not having a good time. That 75 mil won't either with the IL-2 coming in.
No.
And just to finish it off. But the P-51 might go down. Unless the Ohodnetsi can save the day.
He got out. There they go.
Wasn't really due to the Ohodnetsi in the end, but yeah, the P-51 just fast enough to get away. Hawk does go down. There's so much flak.
Yeah.
It's gross.
I will say, I feel like
don't stand a chance.
I feel like the Vakotin like really outperform usual 20 mils. I don't know. They seem...
Because they're dual 20 mils.
Are they dual? I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. They're dual 20 mils. That's why they do so much better. They really rip infantry hard.
Yeah. I don't play the Finnish divisions very often, which is why I don't know them very well.
In the center, that Yakari just deletes an Ohodnetsi squad. Moving on to probably just going to kill off that other one.
Yep, there we go.
It's making some ground there, just like beating up these lower strength Ohodnetsi squads. 1v1 though, I feel like the Ohodnetsi kill Yakari.
Oh, and Onord decides to throw in the towel. I guess he ran out of stuff?
Yeah, maybe. I feel like his heir just got killed off, right, over time. And
yeah, and that's a lot of...
kind of lost that advantage he had in Phase B and beginning of Phase C.
Yeah, and I would imagine, my guess is that Onord picked first and Luna picked second, because I actually think the Polish army is a good counter pick to Rapana. It really is. It kind of counters the really strong infantry out of that division with your own strong infantry. and you're not punished for having bad AT, and you're not punished for not having a lot of tanks. So I think it's a pretty good counter pick, actually.
Yeah, exactly. And like we mentioned at the start, like that's the one division that you do want to play against with the Polish home army. It's like the Arpana, because they kind of match it in a way.
Yeah, I cannot imagine Luna first pick that in his finals, because there are so many divisions that would absolutely destroy it. But in this matchup specifically, it's an interesting, and I think it obviously turned out very well here for Luna, a very effective choice to counter the power of Rapana.
Yeah, so this is like a game of one in the Swiss style, so it wasn't necessarily the final, but yeah, it's interesting to see these unusual divisions, I guess, come to the fore. I guess Rapana is less unusual than Polish home army in this case, but yeah, 34 minutes 17 seconds. Nord taps out, and Luna with only a slight good kill death ratio there, with like 500 more kills than losses, roughly 550 kills more than losses, and that's probably just going to be due to the aircraft like getting shot down towards the end. But early on, I wouldn't have been surprised to see if it was all in favor of Nord for most of the game.
Yeah, I mean, Nord made some great pushes. He really did. It just didn't work out for him. He put so much into the air, which you kind of have to, but he wasn't able to really leverage some of his pushes as well as he needed to, and Luna was able to just kind of grind him back out. If he could have killed those 20 mils sooner, and I now, the more I thought about it, the off-map on the 20 mils made sense, because he just needed them to die so much, because that was all the AA. You kill that, and there's no more AA until Phase C. That could have been, it would have been quite painful. I mean, we even saw in the back half of B when he did how much that made a difference.
Yeah.
But it probably happened a little bit too late and kind of held him off. This IL-2KR here, if we look in the kills for a second, this IL-2KR, wow, reaped some points right there.
Yep, couple AT gun, infantry gun, few aircraft. But yeah, like you were saying with the Nord's strategy was kind of interesting, but cause you could see him just by the fact that nothing was coming onto the field for quite a long period of time. You could see how much points he was investing into his aircraft, and I feel like if he'd not been so careless with his initial infantry, then he could have maybe like saved that for like a bigger push in B, with all of the air coming out at the same time, or like not necessarily saving the air, but like using the air as he buys it, but kind of playing more defensively on the ground with the infantry in the meantime, so that when he does finally hit that critical mass in the air, he can push very hard, and take a more decisive lead than he was able to find throughout this game.
Yeah, I think so. Like, he had those super cheap, 40-point fighters and 60-point fighters. I think the issue is he had to buy them in sets of 2s and 3s, which makes them the equivalent of a singular expensive fighter. So like I don't even know if he was really getting an advantage out of using super cheap fighters, because he had to buy 3 of them to do the equivalent damage. So it's just a lot of points into air. Maybe it was an overinvestment in his air, at least at the time. It didn't feel like it originally, but as the game dragged on, his lack of ground forces kind of made it hard for him to actually capitalize on his pushes.
Yeah, I mean, but we've also got to consider the fact that he was losing transports. He was also not using cover very well because of the auto cover thing. So there was plenty of times where infantry engagements were like not in favor of Nord simply because of that fact. And also the reliance on the Rastovaci that we talked about. So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, just not a fan of those. They just don't perform.
Yeah, I think the availability is like better than the Yakari. I think that's one thing. Although didn't that get updated?
No, I think they're equivalent at this point. Yakari's got like an availability buff or something like that, and they're equivalent. Since these are the only divisions, this and the Panzerdivisione, they're the only 2 divisions that have Yakaris, so like they make them quite strong because those are the only 2 divisions that have them.
Yeah, like people just never used to use them because the curve is so bad.
Well, anyway. It's horrible.
Yes. Is there anything else you want to mention here?
Great game to both players. It was very exciting to watch. Congratulations to Luna on his victory. Consider donating to the charity, link down below.
Yeah, Action Against Hunger. Again, a big thanks to Prodos for running all of the tournament stuff. It was a very, very cool weekend. But that's it from us. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this sort of show match from the Action Against Hunger Still Simulated Division League Charity Tournament. But that's it for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next one.
Have a fantastic
Goodbye.
day.